Whoa, already. Wow. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to another one of my crazy live streams. This one doesn't even fit into its own category. This is just something special, that I thought I would talk about today because there's been a few questions. Okay, Prince Magnum, how do you do what you do? Okay, we know you haven't got a big budget, and some of the videos that you put out are top notch. Some of the live streams you do, learn a lot. And I thought, hey, maybe I need to share this with the community, talk about what's up, that sort of thing. So I already see Queen Bee and Harold's random videos here in the live. Welcome to the live stream. Um, I'm just going to pass on as much as I can pass on. I have no idea where Sean's been. What's good? Well, today I had a miracle happen to me today. I woke up and found it not necessary to take a drink. And any day that happens, it is still truly a miracle. Okay. Um, Now that I've discussed that, um, I actually have a video I'm working on. I'm just about done with it. It's just a matter of trimming down and everything. So I'm going to show you guys that process. And then I'm also going to show you a process which is supposed to happen this Friday. We're going to put off Fancy Friday a day just so I can, kind of do something. I should have done that, but I didn't, sis. No, last I heard, Sean was having problems. What? Who's this Mark Wells kind of guy? He, why would he hate on you? Well, if I got to, yeah, yeah, I'm worried about him. Normally he's in here giving me grief, but I thought I would give away some of my inside stuff. You got new videos up? Oh, his internet's been crappy. I'm beginning to think he's got the same internet provider I do. Uh, it's better than it was. It takes its spells. Okay, so I thought I would do that, and I'm kind of going to kind of wait. Okay, thank you, Queen, for letting us know that he's doing okay. I've been missing my boy. All right, so a lot of what I'm going to do today is kind of going over things that I typically might do before a live stream, kind of setting it up. And a lot lately, my job has kept me over, so it's been hard to get a really good live stream going. I mean, one that I could stand back and go, that was more than just you guys, putting in, So I've been, I'll tell y'all right now, I've been at a struggle trying to make the cooking lives happen and things like that. That and weather hasn't been cooperating with me, and I've been wanting to go out and do some work on Project Spirit. There's actually something cool that I wanted to show you guys, but the weather has been so random here that I can't even do that at the moment. I've got to wait. So I thought I would show you guys some different stuff like that. Ah, okay. I know how this Midwest crap is. It wasn't bad. Earlier, I was out and it started raining where I was at, like cats and dogs. Which I'll also tell you guys some stuff, part of production stuff that I deal with, kind of the struggles of a DIY channel. Um, what's going on, Gamerin? Mr. Ian, welcome to the live stream. It's good to see you. I'm giving away some of my dang knowledge. And I'm actually going to show you guys some of the inside track here on the Prince Magnum channel. If you will, that kind of what's going on, Viable? How things been going? I've been busy. I've been busy. Work has kept me working. I mean, I don't stop much anymore. So today, in today's live stream, I'm kind of going to actually show you guys some of the production stuff that we do here on the channel. along with some of that inside track stuff that you guys just don't get to see. Um, if you ever wondered how aircraft remover comes together, I could show kind of bit, a little bit of that. Um, I would say we that there was a little bit of, you know, I'll tell you actually, my production team is Princess Faye and I actually have a lot of my cameras here. Yeah, in a way, I guess you could say we have a team. It's Princess Faye and myself. And a lot of times, I mean, it's as simple as I'll do a shot, then well, I'll make a video, and then I'll edit it and everything, and I'll sit her down and say, hey, what do you think of this? Hey, hey, we're a dynamic duo. That's a team. Anyhow, no, we're and a lot of times I'll even bring in other people and kind of do it. Sometimes I even got to employ, I guess you could say, or draft some people into that sort of stuff. Well, actually, we'll get more into that. Hey, I guess you could say me, myself, and I. It's all good, right? Yeah, Harold, don't worry about that Joker. Don't worry about that clown. He's just sampling happens all the time. If you take something from somebody else's channel briefly and kind of adapt it to your own, there are modern day rappers that do that stuff. Okay, so is he going to bust those modern day rappers who are making millions? By doing what is known as sampling? I don't think so. So his comments don't amount to anything. Okay, uh, exactly, fair use policy. Look at aircraft remover, me projecting myself into videos and things blow up. Okay, that is sampling. I mean, come on. The same fair use stuff. And to ensure that, I will actually sometimes alter those videos that I will use for aircraft remover. And I actually have the program up that I use specifically for altering those videos. Well, we're going to talk about a lot of different things tonight. We got a lot of stuff to go over. So, first things first. When I go to do for the record, live stream, I'm okay at. But I will tell you that where I'm really at home is in edited content. I can edit a video, and depending on how I'm feeling, how the program is running, or how simple the video is, I can oftentimes edit a video and have it done in like 24 hours. It's ridiculously easy. Now, the program that I use is basically free. Anybody can have it. And it's just Windows Movie Maker. You can download it to your computer. Now, there's two versions. The first one that a lot of people and people have tried to use is a more modern version. It's like the most recent, but it doesn't work. It's broken. Okay, and I've not seen any computer that can run it. My wife, Princess Faye, she tried to run it on her Alienware that I now have, and it didn't work. She tried to run it on it probably is, and I'm not gonna doubt that. But I mean, mine's free, and I'm actually not that bad at it. And if you well, like aircraft remover, I've edited that all together on Windows Movie Maker. That's fine. I mean, you're probably right. Adobe would be better, but if you've seen my dinosaur of a computer, you would say, yeah, you're doing good with what you got. Um, well, that's a horse of a different color. Yeah, I know what you're saying there. Okay, the program I got, it's free, and if you can, it doesn't. I'll tell you all right now. I've seen people who've had, had the most expensive editing software, and that all the bells and whistles in the video was no good. Um, so and here I do pretty good with um, with the program that I have. What gives? It's the ability to, looking at it, what kind of imagination have you got? And along with that, not only what kind of imagination do you have, but ask yourself the question, uh, you know, what can this program do with the imagination I have? That's really what it's all going to boil down to, how well you can use whatever it is you have available to you. Right, right. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. Thank you for dropping me a like. I appreciate that, man. But what I have found that works, like with my here, I'll turn this so y'all can see. Literally, well, here, we'll just do it. We'll just do it like this. This is the original Windows Movie Maker. Oh, like I said, I totally get it. Well, here, I haven't got to use it yet, but this is one of the brand new openings. And then, well, this is one of the, so that's literally what it's like without the music thrown in. But this is just, it's not too bad. So literally, I mean, I just take your finger off the mic. We can't hear you. Oh, give me a break, man. But you guys get the general idea. Right now, I have a video that's ready to begin working on, and I thought I would take you guys through the process. What's going on, Hades? What's up? Hades, you changed the name. You changed the name. What the heck, man? Throwing us all off a little bit, huh? It's all right. We recognize you. So I thought I would throw that out there. All of my videos start with cameras, okay? And I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't have the greatest camera equipment in the world. Literally, my camera equipment is pretty doggone small. And of course, we'll get to do the joke early. Um, Actually, believe it or not, the police generally don't bother me. They generally don't bother me unless it's somebody new to the force. There's always going to be that one person out there, brother. There's always going to be that one person out there that's got to look in too deep, look in too deep. And it's like, I wish I had that much time to sit there and just think this shit up. I mean, seriously, people got way too much time on their hands. Even before this pandemic, it was like that. And it's like, go get a life, okay? Get a frickin' life, dude. Man, seriously, get a life. Um, so let me tell you, all of my very first videos, and even some today, are shot with Okay, are literally shot with a little digital camcorder. Right, right. It's like you need to go find a hobby. And as a matter of fact, I'm also going to make an announcement for this channel because it's coming up. I know it is. We'll talk about that here in a bit too. But the very first type of camera I started off with here on the Prince Magnum channel was literally this is it, a little cheap $14 digital camera from Walmart. This thing's beat up to hell. I've dropped it. I've probably banged it around in my backpack. It's pretty well about done. Um, it could barely even support. I think it's even got, yeah, it could barely support an 8 gig card. But I get up to like 4 hours of video time out of it. So that's not bad. That's not that bad. Okay. So it's a pretty good camera for $14. And literally that's what I started off filming with. And the audio wouldn't be that bad. And you would set it up the best you could, and just kind of start going from there. And just about. And I mean, literally, I mean, that's what I started with. And believe it or not, Ian, I love you, brother. You're a one of a kind. I wish we had more like you in the world, brother. But no, I mean, literally, the quality is not that bad, except at night. That's where the quality really goes down. It's not made for that sort of stuff. Give y'all a little back history. This is one of two cameras that I had. Whenever I got the video footage where it goes out over the hood of Project Spirit, and I'm going down and I end up racing that Camaro. It was like a 2013 Camaro, and Project Spirit beat the brakes off of that car. Outran it. That was shot. I love you, V. But literally, it was shot with a camera just like this. Not a joke. It was shot with a camera just like this. Meaning that, I mean, it wasn't that bad, except that whenever I have to do anything with that video footage, I have to go directly into my movie maker and turn the brightness up as far as it'll go. Because if not, you can make out what's kind of going on. And of course, you can even hear me, telling it. There's a whole story behind that video footage. Okay, so yeah. So I mean, if you think about it, I mean, that should tell you that it's not that it's necessarily, remember, okay, if you learn it, I've seen people that have had, top quality cameras and couldn't make a video to save their life, but then someone like me can walk in with a cheap, $14 camera and get good quality footage and make a good solid video. And all it boils down to is, what can your camera, what can your equipment do? And don't ask of it any more than what it's capable of doing, and get some practice. Okay. There's been video footage that I have done in the past, and I'm not going to lie, that I couldn't use because it was just that poor. Okay. Not a joke. It was total garbage. So it's like, I gotta throw that out. And there's actually been videos I could not make because the video footage was garbage. So, and you guys know my policy. I'm not going to release a crappy video to you guys just for content. I did that on 3 occasions, and I will not make that mistake again because of the simple fact it was the dumbest thing I could have done. Because even at that time, yeah, the Prince Magnum channel was like 100. I think we were at our first 100. So it was one of those deals that in reality, I mean, I shouldn't have released the video. I could have done a better, could have done a better job, or I could have done something totally different and been a thousand times better off. I believe it or not, I will go back to some of my really early videos, and it's very cringeworthy for me. But I had to learn a lot. And again, even though what I use isn't the greatest, there you go. See, there's an example, okay? And here I'm, just using a basic digital camera, here, and I will say that the audio quality, oh, Ian, you're full of it, man. The audio quality on this is wretched. Like I said, it's been dropped, it's been banged around, so the mic doesn't work as well as it does. But on the other hand, even though it's good, the picture quality is great. So all I got to do is take the sound out of the video, which that's ridiculously easy, and then there it is. Okay. So I've had this camera probably going on 4 years. I've had this one. I had one like it before, but that camera finally bit the dust. And this one, like I said, it still works, And literally, there's nothing on this camera, but I'm good for up to just a little over 3.5 hours on this camera. Actually, I released my first video all the way back in 2012 was my very first video, and it was a one-off sort of thing. And there was no Prince Magnum channel. I just released a video. That's all it was. So that's our first camera, okay? So just a lot of times when you're going to be doing on location stuff, I still go right back to this. As a matter of fact, I still call it the handy cam because it's handheld. Okay. And that's literally how it all started. Okay. With this, no editor. And that was how the Prince Magnum channel started. That was the Prince Magnum channel. A camera just like this. What's going on, Kevin Myers? Welcome to the live stream. Kind of going over some, basically kind of some behind the scenes stuff. Actually, I'm going to show you some of the other cameras that we use. Believe it or not, we have some pretty interesting cameras. Now, you guys are going to get a big kick out of this. The original dash cam for Project Spirit. This is it. This is the original Spirit cam. Now, we actually name our cameras. So like this is the dash cam that we use in Spirit now. So it's called the Spirit cam. This is just the backup camera now. But this was the original. You're going to love this then. This is the original Spirit cam. Now, I still occasionally use this camera. The problem is why we don't use it anymore today is, and you guys are going to laugh about this. All of my dash cams are, they have a short battery. Yeah, come a long ways. Okay. They have a short battery lifespan, so you have to have a power source going directly to them. And most of these dash cameras have a port somewhere, and then you can plug it into a cigarette lighter. Well, Project Spirit doesn't have a cigarette lighter. She's old. So you guys have heard me talk about this. That sure as fuck is not it. There it is. Okay. Literally, I'll take a battery pack, one of your cellular battery packs, and here's the connector. and you just plug it right in somewhere. Oh, uh, originally, this camera, actually in the daytime, this camera does phenomenal. Now, the audio quality is seriously lacking, but when we first got it, that wasn't an issue, believe it or not. It did have good quality sound control, but like a lot of my stuff, it's been dropped, it's been banged, banged around, and, um, I mean, shoot, I've even had one of my dash cams that's been slammed underneath Project Spirit's hood. So you're going to get stuff like that. This is not a joke. I mean, so it's not going to work as well as it does. But believe it or not, the picture quality, even now, over 4 years later, is phenomenal out of this camera. But it did have one design flaw. The port where you have to plug in your battery pack is right here. Okay. The other problem is right here is where it mounts. So oh, we'll get to the 1080. We'll get to the 1080 because I have 1080s. Okay. This is what I'm showing is the original, and they're not bad. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to have to do that. I've got a meatloaf recipe with some of the secrets that you were talking about that I'm definitely going to need. And I think everyone pretty well knows my email. If not, we'll go get the other device and I'll jump in quick and that sort of thing. But the problem with this, so yeah, we're definitely going to try it. I want to try it. Oh no, no, you're on par, but you also have to remember that a lot of times I will also shoot video in VHS quality, especially if I'm talking history. More on that in a moment. Okay. So the number one problem with this particular camera is the fact that see where the port goes and you see where it mounts. So all it would take is one good bump and you were breaking this piece. So this camera, because of that alone, was the number one reason why it's not really used that much. So that's why we had to retire this camera. But every now and again, we do have to break it back out for something. Okay, every now and again, but it still works, and it works. It was out of shot. That's it. It's just a pilot camera, about $20. Not bad. And it doesn't do bad. It doesn't do bad pictures. Okay. So there is that camera. Now, Viable, you mentioned 1080 pixel high definition cameras. We got that in a dash cam. Okay. That's not a joke. We do have high definition dash cameras. Matter of fact, we have two of them. The same exact camera, both high definition. Okay? And these are good quality cameras. Now, most of the video footage you see today from Project Spirit or Project Lena, yep, says it right there. And it does allow me to do different resolutions, and it does have well, I wouldn't say night vision, I would say low light vision. Push of a button, immediately it kicks over and anticipates low light levels. Well, there is a way to get around that. There is a way to get around that. Right. Hi, honey. So I mean, these cameras are phenomenal, and I end up using them for a lot of different shots. Now, what you're talking about, where I lose some of my frame rate, is I'm not shooting that important stuff. Okay, if it would be a little bit different if I was making movies or something like that, but I'm not. Um, So literally, I mean, it does fine. These cameras do fine. And a lot of times, if I do have any problems with them, I'll send them through my editor, right through the Windows Movie Maker. They come out on the other side, nothing wrong with them. The editor does its job. Pretty much, yeah. The cameras don't have to move around that much. And when they are, they're mounted inside the cars. Okay. And if they are, I'm not running with them or anything like that. Most of the time, you're talking about they're just static or moving very slowly. So, in that regard, I mean, they're doing exactly what they're capable of doing. But I know what you're exactly talking about when you're trying to move them around and everything. We haven't got that kind of production, for one. And number two, I don't do anything that you're going to need me to do that in. I mean, the most exciting you might have is where I'm walking down a street. That's about it. And currently, right now, the type of camera that you're talking about, we have one that was sent over from another YouTube channel for us to get our new intro stuff. So you get what I'm saying. All right. And I think that channel is actually about to fold anyways. They're not really they're what they initially thought that was going to happen is not happening. And I think that channel is getting ready to fold so they're basically going to, give us their high definition, like this super really nice camera. Basically, they're going to sell it to us as at knockoff price. So I have no problem. Shoot, I think the camera was only used 5 times. So we're going to be adding to the list of cameras. We're going to talk about all that later on. Okay. So literally, just find a camera that works, okay? And like you were talking about with using one on an old iPhone 5, okay, it's good quality. The one that's on my Motorola, top quality. Right. Work with what you got. A lot of times, and I think they're back to work, honey. Okay, have fun. I'm missing you, dear. I have seen channels, okay, and there are some of you out there that I know watch big channels, not a lot bigger than the Prince Magnum channel, a whole lot bigger than the Prince Magnum channel, and their production scale is ridiculous. They got cameras that could probably do everything, including floss their hind end with dental floss. Okay, so and they've got all this extra equipment and everything. But if you go back to their earlier content when it was simple and it was kind of what am I going to say? It's just kind of it's that poor quality. You typically find that those originally when those YouTubers were working on that sort of scale, that was when their videos were at their best. And I will say right now that some of my favorite YouTubers right now are right. It's basic, but the content is there. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's really there. And if you go back to like there's some of you that right now that I love going into your live streams or into your channels that are under 500. Those are my favorites to see. The reason why, and it's nothing against anyone who's got more than that. It's just because, I mean, you guys, a lot of times there are some of you that are working with what you got, trying to make it, doing what you can. You don't even you're not even scripted, which even today I'm still not fully scripted. I just have a good idea. Well, you and I would be compared to what we're now, okay? And the truth of it is I leave those videos up because it gives you an idea where I came from. If you will, those YouTube channels that are still small, and maybe they've been doing it a couple of years, but they're still small and struggling. Those are some of the best gems here on YouTube, on any platform, really. The ones that are still struggling, still trying to make, because those are the real gems, because they're working with so little, but they know what they're doing by then. They really have a grasp of what they're doing. So just, and for the record, Viable, you're going to laugh about this, okay? We can get that way, but I'm going to tell you a little truth. Because of the stuff that I do in Project Spirit and all the old stuff that I try to bring back to you all and try to, kind of showing you what it was like. Believe it or not, there's a setting on these cameras that allow me to shoot in VHS quality. So believe it or not, I do. I shoot in VHS quality, and most people wouldn't know that, but I purposely shoot in VHS quality with these cameras, knowing full well that I could go full bore with the 1080. Why would I do that? Because it's part of what we do. Yeah, okay, so it's 440 pixel. Okay, but still yet, why would I do that? Because I want to give it that old vibe. Exactly. Oh, yeah. Well, we're actually going to talk about a live stream that's going to be coming up, and I'll be walking you through some of the production side of that too. A lot of times, and even Princess Faye, when she was doing her thing yesterday, she knew exactly what to do because there's like this whole thing that it literally is almost ridiculous how overplanned some stuff can be. Now, I will say in the past couple weeks, it's been hard to be a step ahead of everything um, because of the fact that, um, in all honesty, my job has kept me working a little too much. It's basically I go in at 4 o'clock in the morning and I don't get out until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And this is most of the time now. It's very rare I get out at my old time. Oh, I'll tell you right now, Kevin, my wife is amazing. Okay. Oh, I am actually a maintenance man for a local McDonald's. I'm not just, I know some people kind of look down their nose at McDonald's, but I'm not just some guy working at a McDonald's. I'm actually the maintenance man. My job is to keep equipment running, so hopefully you don't have to call a repair guy. That's not a joke. That is actually what I do for a living. So I will go in and work and clean equipment all day long. And right now, with the current pandemic, I also have had to step back into my old nursing role, and I also sanitize workstations to keep people from getting sick, especially in the drive-through and up at front counter. So that's a lot of what my day is cleaning, cleaning and sanitizing anymore. But I know how to take most of the equipment apart in that store, clean, sanitize, put it back together, and it's got to run right. So that's, obviously, I mean, you guys get the general idea. So I do a lot of that and, exactly. Yeah, you know, and how many times I got to say it, that person that's looking down their nose, who's just, you get the idea and that next Big Mac's going to do them in. They're even on oxygen, but yet you're going to sell it to them. Why? Because men, they're even on oxygen, but yet you're going to sell it to them. Why? Because it's not our place to tell you what to do about your health. But there you, I said it. I said it. I'm sorry. Doggone. Yeah, I said it. But you guys get the general idea. a lot of times when I go on location, I still use this old camera. Sometimes I'll actually, and really, I'm not joking. We use these cameras for everything, and I'll walk slowly everywhere with one of these little cameras, and people are like, "Man, that is a teeny tiny camera." I pulled it right off my dash, literally, and I'll walk around with it, and nobody cares because they just think it's so cool. Oh, don't tell me that. We're in direct competition with them. So literally, I tease whatever, man. I've got my own secret menu items, so it is what it is. I'll have to give away those secrets one day, all of them. Mm. So that's the real start. Find a camera that works and works well enough for you. Okay. Basically, if you're starting off doing location stuff like we do, that's all you need. That's all you need is something that works for you. In all honesty, I mean, I know Viable, you and I are going to be a little bit different. I know what you're saying. Just doesn't fill you up. Um, so just find a camera that works for you. Okay. And I will tell you though, for just walking around and you don't want to use the handy cam, there you go. Oh, I love them homemade secrets like that, and I like to try them out every now and again. There you go, Kevin. I wouldn't mind. Like I said, just shoot me some stuff. We'll have to get together. We'll have to chit chat and that sort of thing. Actually, we're still selling nuggets where we're at, and no competition. There you go. But there's been times I've just walked around with this camera right here on 440 pixel, and you know, just walk around and get my shots in. It's all good. It's all good. You know. So that is where the start is. Which brings to mind, and we've joked about this a million times here on the channel. The camera stand. I actually know why it's pink like that. I know why it's pink like that. Because they mix in fat. That's why. And animal fats are pink. That's why. How do you get it to stick together so well? Fat. Anyhow, it's a binder. Okay, we all know the joke about, the file up here. We'll do it again later on for the sake of humor. But literally, when I said I made that camera stand, I wasn't kidding. I literally made this. I mean, and it fits both of these little cameras. I finally got to try it out the other day and I loved it. But there you have it. Here. See? Did that all on my own. Which brings to mind, whenever when I cut down that tree, he's gonna do it. Okay. When I brought this block of wood in, all I did is I kind of, smoothed out the bottom here so it sits flush. Here we go. And then I carved out this section right here. And that's how the camera fits right like that. But then to get where this lens goes right here, what I had to do for that is I had to take this file right here, this particular file right here, this half moon shaped file, and I laid it down on top right like that, and I worked it back and forth till I had this perfect knock right here. So the lens fits perfectly. So because I used this file on this block of wood, that must mean I am good at filing and should try my hand at being a secretary. So there you have it, okay? It is such a, Princess Faye for the longest time is like, I'm tired of hearing that joke. And then I finally said, honey, it's still getting laughs. That's all that matters. You might have to mail that. You want the camera stand? Oh my gosh. What, the file or the camera stand? Oh my God, that's awesome. All righty. So that's pretty much it right there. Those are the cameras that I work with. Then you turn right around. And this is kind of the video I was working on. And basically it was just kind of like, I was kind of aggravated at work, but then at the same time I wanted to, make a video. So basically it was like my passive aggressive, letting it all out, because believe it or not, I'll come out of work, I'll be mad at the world. Sometimes it's just rough at work. I'm not going to lie. But then I'll come out of work, jump into Project Spirit. I'm still ticked off. I just want to get to the highway, and traffic is usually a pain in the neck on cars over in Farmington. So by the time I get to the highway, I'm really fuming because people can't drive. Everybody and the brother has to pull out in front of a 1975 Ford Maverick. Whenever Project Spirit still had her original front drum brakes, I used to refer to people doing that as actively trying to commit suicide. That is not a joke. I would refer to those people as actively trying to commit suicide. Because if that car hit a modern vehicle, it'd be like a rock hitting aluminum foil. So what would happen to the occupants inside? One of the reasons why we had to get the dash cameras for insurance purposes, because people can't drive. So we got these as a way, most everybody in the area knows that there are dash cameras, okay, in a lot of vehicles. And they know that I'm one of the people that said, get a dash cam, or otherwise you could end up in a courtroom trying to explain away why when you hit somebody, you killed a van load of 6 people because the driver's an idiot and pulled out in front of you. Plain and simple, So even if you don't use any of the stuff I talk about, and you drive, get one of these anyways. Doesn't even have to be the greatest quality. Shoot, at that point, get a piece of duct tape and strap one of these down to your dang dash. I'm not kidding you. People can't drive. But anyhow, from here, what I'll do is basically I'll set up my scene. How I want to go into the video. Now with the opening, you got Project Spirit flying by. I don't have to do some of the openings like I used to. I could just kind of, you see Project Spirit coming into shot and going by the camera. That's it. That's all you need. Okay. So at that point, because, that's it. That's all you need. Okay. And then it could go into the regular intro and everything. And then it comes out, and then you've got my, what I need to, my setup. Okay. And then from there, I can kind of trim, cut, and do whatever needs to be done. So quite literally, bring you guys over here. And like I said, that's Windows Movie Maker. This is the original one. And this computer is actually so old, it doesn't even connect to the internet anymore. It barely works as it is. But it still makes a pretty damn decent YouTube video. So here's like the opening scene. I've got to fade in and fade out. So literally I'll come over here to visual effects. And this allows me to get my multiple effects. This is where it fades in, fades out, and you can kind of scroll through and decide how you want it to go. So that is where it's at. Okay. So then when we turn up the volume, make sure it's all the way up so you guys can hear what's going on. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel, where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to Do-It-Yourself Budget Hot Rodding, and yes, we're in Project Spirit. Getting ready to head home. Have you ever wondered what it was like to cruise around in the 1975 Ford Maverick like Project Spirit? Well, you guys are in luck. Let's take off. And this is where it fades in. Now, from here, I could leave that like it is, because all I did was just grab hold of the camera and just turned it around from that dash point. But I don't want to hear Project Spirit running. What I want to do is add in music in the background instead. So we're going to take and turn the volume all the way down. And I'm going to basically do the same thing in this shot. Turn it all the way down. Come over here. There's a spot for music. Okay. And I can put in pretty much whatever I want. But because this is YouTube, licensed, non-licensed stuff is preferable. Old video game music for those of you into retro games. Let's see. Let's have some fun here. Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit. Okay. Classic game. That's always a great one, a great choice right there. So I'll come over here. Now that I turned the volume down on the video itself. There we go. Turn the volume all the way up in the editor. And I can trim this down as I need to. There. And this is kind of how it goes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Prince Magnum. Don't worry, any jumping you hear in the editor will go away once it goes through the editor. On the other side, it'll be fine. So literally just like that. And all I got to do is trim it down to the size that I want. And that's all it is. And then once it's done, I'll run it through the editor. So any jumps that you get will clear up. It's just the nature of an old computer like this. So you just got to kind of deal with that. Now, whoa, hold on here. Hang on, there was a lot of stuff y'all said. Oh, that's easy because 9 times out of 10. Well, see, I've tried to use Streamlabs and I didn't like it, to be honest with you. I really didn't like the way Streamlabs edited videos. I honestly didn't like it. This is actually, like I said, it's really easy. So literally, I mean, even though I'm not done with this video, I'll clip it down how I want it. But at the end of it, you know, it'll be a good video. What's going on, Chairman? Welcome to live. So literally for, you know, the fact that it's free, it still does fine. Okay. Now, all I got to do is, like I said, trim it down how I want it, add in anything I might need, and it's a good video. It'd be just fine. Trust me. You guys will love it. Okay. So all I got to do is finish this video. and it's ready to load. I now have a new YouTube video. All I got to do is put in at the end, shout outs and the ending that I've decided on and all that other stuff. So it doesn't look like much now, but everyone knows. Oh, Streamlabs, I thought OBS. I've used OBS and tried to do to get capture. I didn't like it. Actually, I hated it. That's what I thought you were talking about there for a minute. I'm not reading well today. You know what I meant. Anyhow, so is literally, that's literally making a video here on the Prince Magnum channel. The main thing I'll tell you is don't expect, basically, don't expect movie quality from a cheap camera. You're not going to get that. Basically, don't expect more out of what your equipment than what it's capable of, because you're not going to be happy with the results. It's going to take some trial and error, but you guys get what I'm saying. Use your equipment to the best of your ability, whatever it is. And like I said, I started off with, this is what I've used, for like almost 5 years, and it's made a good video. It doesn't do bad. Oh, have you seen how my internet works? Don't even get me started. I'm still tweaking a few things. Oh, screen stream. What do I stream off of? Actually, basically a $50 Motorola phone, believe it or not, because I'm at over 1,000. And it's the only device, it's the only device that basically does not, it still has problems with the internet, but hey, what's going on, Bucky? But it does a decent job. It does do a decent job. Now we are looking at getting a capture card so I can start streaming some retro games for you guys too, because hey, why not, right? I love history, and taking you guys back in the past is what I enjoy doing the most. So there you have it. All right, that's how it all goes together. I'm not using any program. It's just a mobile stream, literally. It's just a mobile stream. It's off of a Motorola device. Because I'm at over 1,000, I can stream from mobile devices. That's why I'm able to move you guys wherever I go. Now, for live streams, this Friday, the plan is, okay, to do soft shell tacos. Who's in for soft shell tacos? I know Princess Faye, when I said it, we're going to do tacos. She's like, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And, so tacos are always a favorite. Right? So to get the quality that we do, I mean, let me say right now, I don't care what anybody says about iOS. I like Motorola phones. Motorola is a trusted name for my family because my dad was a firefighter, and Motorola tech, Motorola stuff. You could do. Believe me, I love doing tacos. Okay, Motorola is a trusted company. Hey, what's up, filming? So literally, for my taco recipe, what I have to have is like certain ingredients. Normally, I prefer ground sirloin, but ground sirloin beef. But the problem is, right now there's shortages of everything, especially even where I live, because I live in a rural community. Yeah, I live in town, but not a joke. Here we go. That is in behind. And it's like that pretty much all around my apartment complex. So you guys get the general idea. Even though it's in the middle of town, I still live in the boonies practically. I kind of like it too. Nice and quiet. So it because of the pandemic, everything has so we're suffering shortages of top end stuff that I would normally use for ingredients. So I've got to scale back, or I have to shop around to the point where it's like, the recipe I was going to use. Yeah, I need a garage badly. You would just about think I was in the Amazon, but what? So, literally, for my soft shell tacos, I wanted to do some hard shells. Well, I wanted to do they're kind of like a hybrid between a hybrid between a crunchy and a soft shell taco. And yes, that does exist. They make there's a way to do your tortilla shells for the tacos where it's a cross between. You love the taco idea? Well, I've got a recipe that blow you guys' socks off. And literally, I'll write the recipe, I'll take it from somewhere. Right. Uh, so, there's that. Oh, I know that. Think different. That's exactly what I'll be doing. I would normally do. Well, no, you still pan fry them, but you just take them before they turn hard. Okay. You drain them off. And this is how my mom does it. And my mother is actually, yes, I'm on one side of my family. This would be Wednesday. Wednesday. Okay. So my mom, on my mom's side of the family, we're Native American and Mexican. So I grew up eating authentic Mexican food. So she she doesn't realize I paid close attention to figure out how to do her taco shells. I mean, taco day, that would be Friday. We're going to hold off on Fancy Friday, and we're going to have Taco Tuesday. Actually, we're going to have Food Friday. Food Day Friday. Oh, it's Thursday. Yeah, you're across the pond, just past the that time zone marker. But literally, this is what we have. Yes, yes, my mom is Native American and Mexican. On my dad's side, I come from an old German family, which is weird. Okay. I come from an old German family. My great great grandfather immigrated to the United States from Germany and right, Thursday for you. Dang, y'all are all over the place. So, um, that's dad's side of the family, come from an old German family. That's what's up. But I'm gonna give away. Yeah, on one. Actually, I still. Uh, um. I love you guys. So now that you know that, which well on my name, basically I'm Pima Indian of all things, Bristol, UK. That is awesome. Um, my Native American tribe is almost gone. We're almost extinct. There's only a few of us left, really. Um, so I'm part of a dying tribe right now. Um, but Mexicans. My mother actually grew up in Los Angeles, in Norwalk, Los Angeles, which I'd heard it used to be a really nice neighborhood. I don't know what it's like now. I've never heard. I've actually never been. But now that I've said that, I'll actually list out my ingredients from my recipe, and then I have to go in and I'll take y'all with me. So I'll take my little notebook with me. Yeah, my mother was born and raised in California. Okay, so we come in here, and this is actually the spice cabinet, but I will actually have to go through and make sure that all of my spices down here are in order. Wow, you guys are all, got so many of you all over the world, but that's literally it. And then the other stuff. So the only two things that I actually need on this list, the top part of the list, is I need to go pick up some beef broth and I need to pick up an onion. That's about it. On the bottom, the only thing that I think that I'm going to need. No, I have it all. I have it all. So I only have a couple ingredients to go pick up. So from there, now you guys want a sneak peek? I mean, this is behind the scenes, okay? This is behind the scenes. Over here, literally, don't mind the mess, but literally, we're not going to be using cheddar for this. We're using queso fresco cheese, okay? So to keep it as authentic as possible, what I will actually do is use queso fresco because it's more authentic. We're not even going to be, we might get some pickled jalapenos, or I might make some. Depends on my feeling that day. Actually, we're out of jalapenos. I got to go pick some up. But you guys get the general idea. So literally, I did all of my homework. I've done this recipe before, and I've done it. I don't think I did it in a live stream. I might have before, but recipes change. You do things differently, and it's up to the audience to figure out what you're doing different. I have never been to Mexico. I've never been to Mexico. Now, my grandfather, on my mom's side, he was born in Corpus Christi, Texas, and my great grandparents, I think if I remember correctly, had a ranch somewhere near Monterrey, Mexico. And what they would do during their off season from their ranch is they would cross the border. Right? Well, I'm telling you, man, you guys are gonna love this. Parsnip and I have been wanting to try some recipes. Um, cucumber, cucumber. You got to know how to pickle them. You got to know how to pickle them. Cauliflower. I know how to pickle cauliflower where it'll taste good. I've never had parsnips, but I've been wanting to try them. And ginger. I knew a gal named no, we won't go there. Um, you're not funny, honey. Anyhow, okay, really. Um, because I've got a recipe for taking parsnips and turning them into muffins, and I've been wanting to try that to see if I could do it. That's funny as hell. Well, anyhow, um, so now that I've said that, okay, I have a cat destroying furniture in there. Um, so literally, whenever I go to do a cooking live, there's a lot of setup that goes into it. You know, for a really, really good one. Now, the ones I've been doing lately have been focused on just doing things as easy as possible because I've not had enough time to go out and, do. I haven't had a chance to go out and do, to set up like what I've been wanting. Well, rookie mistake. Well, there's those moments. Anyhow, no, and I mean, in all honesty, I mean, so if you guys ever wondered, a lot of times what you'll see me doing a live stream, I've already fried cauliflower is always good. Deep fried. Here in the States, we deep fry everything. We even deep fry. Yeah, that's funny. We deep fry everything in the States. You know, that's just what we do. Um, so now that I've said all of that, there's again, when I go to do a live stream, a lot of times I already know pretty well what I'm going to be doing in that live stream. I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. Hey, what's going on, Gavin John? Welcome to the live. So a lot of times what you'll see in a live stream, I've already rehearsed it in my head a lot of times. Now, where it becomes ad lib is when people are asking questions and I'm trying to answer them during that live stream. Sean's internet's been acting up badly. Queen Bee was telling us about it earlier that that his internet's been acting up on him. He lives in Indiana, right? And he snowbirds to Florida. Thank you, Chairman. It's good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. So, if y'all wondered about all of that, that's actually how it all goes together. Now, most of the time, I have a pretty good idea when I go to film, and you'd be surprised. A lot of times, what I like the original, that clip for aircraft remover, not a joke. Um, oh, now don't y'all just go easy on Queen. She's a sweetheart. We wouldn't have her any other way. Oh my goodness. Don't y'all pick on Princess Faye's dear friend there. I'll tell you what, Queen Bee is one. Oh, y'all better go easy on Queen. That's my gal there. Her and her husband are oftentimes I'm staying quiet. I'll tell you what, Queen Bee and her husband, TFC Gaming. I'll tell you what, those guys are awesome. I hope the day comes where we all get to hang out. I hope all of us get to hang out because we all a bunch of sick puppies, and God only knows what'll happen. so so I mean literally that's the general. Oh, you're deep fried? You guys are awesome. So if you ever wondered what it looked like, literally the new opening and everything, and I won't give you, oh, you're innocent? Sure. And my chair don't squeak. We all know none of us in here are innocent. Ain't none of us in here innocent. I'm telling you that right now. We all sick, 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 sick. Okay, so we covered. Oh, dang it! I need to stop that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Kevin. Queen, you know that I think the world of you. You know, every time I'm doing a live stream, it's bad enough when Sean is in here, because he had so much. There's a lot of you that are y'all are so dang important. But I'll tell you right now, it isn't a complete stream. Yeah, don't deep fry me. There's nothing to eat there. I'm all skin and bones. Oh my gosh. And I'll tell you right now, Queen Bee is one of those ones that I don't know if she knows it, but when she's not in a Prince Magnum live stream, it almost doesn't feel like a Prince Magnum live stream. It's bad enough, I mean, it's bad when Sean isn't here, but we will survive, you know. And there's a lot of you that it's like, stop yawning. You know, I can't help it. What are you? We gonna do think big, me and take my picture away. You ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna do it. Ain't gonna do it. Anyhow, uh, um, so that's pretty much it. I mean, that's the crux of the production, really. And I mean, a lot of it is just what imagine what you're going to do and just kind of go with it. And I do not script myself. I might write down some notes that I need to put in to the video, but other than that, no. I don't script myself. I don't like to do that because a lot of times then it's just like trying to memorize the lines. There was one time I did do it. When we introduced Project Lena to the channel, I actually had to, you guys are awful. Oh my gosh, you guys are full of piss and vinegar tonight. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you guys. Oh my gosh, you guys are getting bad. Okay, who wants a Project Spirit update? For those that missed it, our dear friend, Third Gen 83, sent a brand new steering wheel for Project Spirit. Look at that. I cannot wait to see what this looks like inside of Project Spirit. Anyhow, so you guys, Oh my gosh. Because I do not have a steering wheel puller for one, and two, I'm no good at steering columns. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this. She's going to a shop Friday. But we're also going to install anyhow, along with that, we're having a new turn signal switch installed into Project Spirit 2. That think different. If I screw it up, I have to pay for it. If they screw it up, they have to pay for it. So why don't I just pay somebody to do it at that point? Yeah, I have to do it at this point because number one, I don't have all the tools to do it. The other is I am no good at working on steering columns. Right. It's just one of those things that I'm better off taking her to a professional. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't map out the project long before this. I had mapped out this project long before this. Okay. So, um, if you will, Project Spirit, uh, it's still DIY if you mapped out the project. And even though you pay somebody, you still did all the footwork before you got to that point. Well, as I said, it's been crazy weather over here, brother. Eventually, we're going to send a. Eventually, we're going to send her in and have her seats reupholstered. Um, to get it done right, it costs money. And as a matter of fact, let me tell you all, part of the production is also going to surprise you. Let's take a walk real quick. We got to go in to the living room for a brief moment and grab something. Two somethings. Okay. And you guys are going to appreciate this. Ooh, I'm scared of the dark. Somebody hold me. All right. Oh, don't worry. Little by little, little by little. Okay. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that, Kevin. All right, let me get y'all caught up here. This is literally part of, since I'm giving the inside track. And y'all have heard me say that I treat the Prince Magnum channel like a business. And, I literally carry two wallets every day. Okay. This is my regular wallet. This holds all the money that I use for normal stuff around the house. Okay. This is it. This wallet, yeah, Legend of Zelda wallet. This wallet actually holds the money, and all the basically this takes care of all the business stuff for the Prince Magnum channel right here. Everything in here is a lot of the money that we use on here on the channel, and a lot of times to get that money, I have to do side jobs right now. As a matter of fact, today one of the guys who's literally, Uh, to make money, I'll do side jobs. I'll go out and do side jobs. I'll I could, but if I did that, then I'm liable to start swapping money back and forth, and I don't want to do that. It's one of those things. Keeping two wallets keeps me honest. Squirt guns. And it also holds my special PayPal card, my special PayPal card for the Prince Magnum channel. So I don't just use this card. No, what this does is it literally keeps me honest. So I don't spend, oh, well, I could take money out of here. No, I can't take money out of here and use it on the channel because all the money that I'm allowed to use is in here. So that's how I keep that. Pretty much, yes. So sometimes I'll go out and do scrap metaling. I don't know if you know what that is. Doing scrap metal, basically just literally picking up metal and you take it to a recycling center. That's it. Matter of fact, today we actually junked, a buddy of mine, him and I junked a dirt bike that was just totally trashed. I don't think this thing's ran in the last 20 years. It doesn't have a title or anything like that. So we took it to a junkyard. And by turning it in for, scrap metal prices, you make a little bit of money off it. I made a little bit of money helping him out today. Made like $10 for only working for, an hour or two. Okay. That money was rolled back into the channel. On top of that, I find little side jobs like that. I'll go out and that's how I make my extra money on the side. And then I'll take that little bit of money. So when I say do it yourself budget hot rodding, literally I do. Yep. But yeah, by taking all of, basically by doing scrap metal, I've actually, to get enough money to do a video, I guess you could say. Ah, okay. Now we're talking. There is parts on that shelf that's not made it into the car yet. Some of those parts is there in case something breaks. It's already there. All I got to do is pull it off the shelf and have it put on the car. Like outer tie rods and things like that. For example, here's a better example. A thermostat for Project Spirit's engine. Okay. These things have a tendency to go out, but if this goes out, oh, that's a 180. Okay. If one goes out, I've got one on hand. Okay. And that's fine. Okay. There's a lot of places that do that. Well, that being said, these things aren't free. You have to buy them, obviously. So do I spend money that I'm supposed to be using here at home? Or do I spend money from my channel to buy this part so when it comes time to replace it, I can make a video on it? So there is expenses because this is not a just a video game channel. This is a DIY channel. There's the difference. That's where the expenses are because projects cost money. Projects can cost a lot of money. So when you mentioned the parts haven't gone in, a lot of times there's the actually Project Spirit is attached to the Prince Magnum channel. Uh, she is definitely attached to the Prince Magnum channel. She's a good portion of the content. Project Lena is the same way. As a matter of fact, actually, I don't have any of her stuff in here. There's some stuff that's supposed to be coming in, but you get the general idea. There's a whole shelf full of parts, just different things like that, that's used on the cars. And that is what the content is. Okay. So remember, you've got your camera equipment, you've got, and you've got what you use to do your videos, tools, God, paint, sandpaper, shoot, you start naming off stuff. Oh, you could put your link in. If you got a blue wrench, put the link in. You guys know that. Put the link into your YouTube channel or your or one of your favorite videos or a new video. Right. So, I mean, a lot of stuff like this. This is just an example. So when this particular part isn't cheap, and this is something that I've been wanting to put in Project Spirit. And I've been looking all over for one, for some, Project Spirit is not necessarily the founder, but the Prince Magnum channel is the house that Project Spirit built. So in a way, when you're talking about content, about putting a car back together, oh, Henry. Right. Oh no, don't worry, Kevin. I appreciate you going ahead, but shoot, in a way, I've already given you permission. You go right. If you got that blue wrench, you go ahead. You already have permission. If you know anybody else who's needing support, put them in too. So literally, this basically it was one of you guys that sent this, and it's going into Project Spirit, and this is if you will, this is my way of basically it's my way of continuing to show you that it can be done. The thing of it is that as time goes on, Project Spirit is the she's the bulk of my content. Okay. Yes, there's other stuff that we do, and then on top of that, if I want to do a cooking episode or a cooking live stream, that's got to come directly out of the funds for the channel. Okay. There you go, Kevin. So that's the way it works. So if I go to do an episode, then there's even kitchen tools that I'll buy specifically for the channel. Maybe it looks good on camera, that sort of thing. Think about it like that. There's actual tools in that kitchen that I only get out when it comes time to do a Prince Magnum channel episode or live stream. You guys are awesome. So if that's any indication what it's like, okay, DIY channels can get expensive. Project Spirit has been expensive. How much money's tied up in Project Spirit? Well, Project Spirit, if you count parts and labor, and this includes what I've done, what what other people have done, and the parts that we've used on her. Project Spirit's $9,000 plus. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Let me show you. There's actually a gasket that does not exist. You have to make it. You have to make it. And I will say right now, I don't make them. Princess Faye does. Sit down. Okay. Princess Faye will actually make gaskets. But yes, you can make your own gaskets. This is already a roll of cork gasket material that we've used here. And this is it, okay? You can get big rolls of this and make them. Yeah, third gen 83 was the one who gave the steering wheel. And what you do in this case, we got a template. This is the template for that gasket, and literally carb to intake. It tells you, okay, and you'll lay it down and you trace it out, and then you have to cut it. You have to cut it out yourself. But that's it. This is rolled gasket. So we actually keep some of this on hand. So if you ever wondered, we got two different types to actually choose from. This is actually a different type of gasket material. Every 2 years. Every 2 years we have to replace the gasket. So that's not bad. About every 2 years on that car, which we're getting close to where we're going to have to do it again. You could do there are some gaskets on some old engines that don't even exist anymore. You have to make those gaskets yourself. There's engines like that, or there's a particular unknown part that you have to make, or you'd be surprised with those old cars. A lot of times, what you end up doing. So quite literally, going into a project. Yeah, so we got plenty to do this with. And I'm probably going to pick up more because I have changed Project Spirit's I have changed Project Spirit's valve cover gasket like 3 times, and it continues to leak no matter what I do. So I'm probably going to make my own because I'm tired of changing it. It's ridiculous. I shouldn't have to change it every time you turn around. Valve cover gaskets shouldn't be going out like that, but this one does. So I'm thinking it's probably the gaskets are crap. So what I'll do is I'll make my own. Oh, oh goodness. So that is the bulk of the production. Now, some of you all were wondering, about last night. Was there trouble? Well, Princess Faye is a very emotional person, and she kind of feels that some of my jokes are a little lowbrow, even for me. And the office chair joke she felt was too lowbrow, and she's like, she kind of felt like, number one, it isn't family friendly, and even though I'm not kid friendly, I try to stay family friendly. And she felt that that goes against that. She's right. She's absolutely right. Along with that, because I've made that statement that I try to keep the Prince Magnum channel family friendly. So she made that point. So okay, okay, and she also made the point that just go over and grab one of your videos, brother. Just grab one of your videos and drop the link to one of your videos. You can do it that way from your phone because it should be a copy. Go into your share and there's a copy spot, and it'll copy the link to the video. You post that, and you can still get to your channel. I know things. I know the things. I bet you. So you guys get the general idea, you know. So she felt that, she got emotional on me and kind of chewed me out for that. That's what was really upsetting to her is, I'm kind of breaking some of my own rules. So when she brought that up, she's, it's like, that's not who you are, you're smarter than that. You've got the talent for other jokes, you know. Nah. For example, like, but yeah, she got on to me about that. There's a way to prelude to that joke without actually doing that joke. So that's probably what we're going to do. But she did basically say that, reminded me about my family friendly, that that anytime I do a video or a live stream, that a parent should be able to watch or listen to that live stream with their kids running around and not have worries of what I say or do. And she brought that up. That is a statement from me. And she reminded me of that. And that was all I needed to hear. So that's not, basically, I try to keep my channel family friendly, and that isn't exactly family friendly, if you catch my meaning. There's ways to make those lowbrow jokes without actually making them, and I wasn't doing that. And she basically pointed out, you're smarter than that. Oh, for the record, the mouse, this is the mouse for my computer that does editing. I think it's getting to be about time for a brand new mouse. I don't like the way this one squeaks. That was a cute joke. I threw that. I knew Queen would appreciate that joke. Wait for it. Y'all went quiet. Did he make a joke, a pun joke? Yes, I did. All righty. So, Friday, Project Spirit goes into the shop. Honestly, I am not a big. You're gonna laugh. You guys are gonna laugh about this. I usually don't get. Yes, that was an actual joke. That was an actual joke. I didn't like the way my mouth squeaks. It took you that. It's a computer mouse. It doesn't squeak. There it was. Like, wait a minute. It took you a moment to catch it. I did that joke for Queen because I figured she'd like that when it was, it's one of those jokes. First time Princess, pulled that one on Princess Faye. I said, honey, I need a new mouse. I don't like the way it squeaks. What I said is I need a new mouse. I don't like the way my mouse squeaks. There we go. Come on, that was good. Well, if it makes y'all feel any better, at work I sometimes get aggravated with the shift that's previous. You know, the previous shift, the closing shift, because Come on, that was a cute joke. What's wrong with you guys? Doesn't always have to be lowbrow. Uh, let's see. Um, we still got an oil change to do on Project Spirit, a lube job. Calm down. The abuse. Um, we still got basically we've got an oil change to do. We still need to do a lube job on Project Spirit. Again, calm down, take it easy. Bunch of sickos. Anyhow, and that'll be it for the basic stuff. Then I've got to go pick up some stuff because I'm getting ready to put in for vacation time. When my vacation time goes in and I go on vacation, Project Spirit will be on location. Well, we'll probably do some of it here. We're going to start pulling panels off, like door panels and things like that. With the grease gun. You pervs. I told you. I told you. Where is it? This is a tube of all season grease. And I have to use this stuff in grease fittings on Project Spirit. I'm hoping to show you guys this live because a lot of people say this is, oh, maintaining an old car is so doggone difficult. Yes, a lube job. Basically, you take a tube of grease like this. That you put it in the grease gun. You hook it onto a grease fitting. You pump the grease in. That's it. That's a lube job. Yeah. Well, there's some grunting because, I'm having to crawl underneath the car. Yep. Got it from Rural King. I love the prices over there for this stuff. You calm yourself. So, I need to do an oil change. Motor Earl. I did say that. I did say that. Hoo-ha-ha. Anyhow. Oh, y'all are getting sick. Sick, 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 sick. Okay. No, the oil at Rural King is, and believe it or not, all right, now the big question. Do I need to do an episode 14 for aircraft remover? Do you guys want an episode 14? You say, I don't know if Queen Bee's had a chance to see the new aircraft remover yet. She has. She's been quiet about it. Flotation devices there, huh? Project Spirit doesn't have airbags. What am I doing to the car next? Okay. Well, we're going to be, we're already looking at starting the body work, okay, to Project Spirit, which means that guess what we get to use next? Project Spirit is the only vehicle, the only thing that has not blown up or caught fire after having aircraft remover touch it. Project Spirit is the only thing that has not just fallen apart after being touched with aircraft remover. Shoot, even the the Enterprise D blew up after spraying aircraft remover. Yep. So everybody, yeah, just so you know, we are looking at doing body work. So that means we're going to have to be removing. Hey, what's going on, Sad Cat? Gavin John, you're back, huh? All right. So that is, I mean, so you, don't worry, it's on tight. It's on tight. Is there any buffering on you guys, on everybody else's end, or is it still holding? So, yeah, don't worry, the cap's on tight. We're okay. Sad Cat, if you haven't had a chance yet, you need to check out my series known, a little bit on your end. Okay, so it's good where you're at. I don't know then. Okay. Sync. Okay, good, 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 good. Okay. Now, Sad Cat, if you have not seen Aircraft Remover yet, the Aircraft Remover series, you're missing out. Aircraft Remover is, well, this is Aircraft Remover, made by Rust-Oleum. This stuff takes out, they are in a playlist on my channel, and it's called Aircraft Remover. I promise you, there will be, you'll do non-stop. Yes, Gavin John, we will get to another hot chocolate episode. I have to go pick up one ingredient for that. I need to go get the powdered milk. But yes, I will do a hot chocolate episode. For those who do not know, there is one of the more popular edited videos that we did here on the channel. Literally, it was one of the first videos done in this office. What am I going to do to her next? Let's see. we talked about changing the steering wheel, doing an oil change, doing a lube job, and doing the body work. That what's next is we're going to start. What is the most popular edited video? Well, it's literally called Life Hacks to Better Gas Mileage. And it was one of my earlier videos. I think it's kind of, last I looked, it was at almost 90,000 views. And for the record, I hate that video. It's the worst video I've ever done. The information was good, but it was such poor quality. And I felt rushed back then. And that is the most popular video on my channel. It averages around about 2,000 views a month. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be gamering. I'm going to be grinding on her trunk. He's going to lose his shit now. Oh my God. When you start talking cars, people start thinking perverted. Gives new meaning to loving your car. Oh my gosh. But anywho. All righty. Let's see. So let's get, so now that you all know, Project Spirit will not be here. Yeah, I'm having coffee. Yes, I'm sipping on my coffee here. Well, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to take an angle grinder with a sanding pad and grinding off the old paint. That's literally what I'm going to be doing. I mean, I wasn't lying. Ooh, I'm just drinking mine straight up. I might add a little cold water to it. There you go. I usually just drink mine straight up. There's a joke that goes with that, but I'll leave that one alone. It'd be funnier if it was on Sexy Saturday. Well, you know, right? You're not. Gives a whole new meaning to loving your classic car. Anyhow. Almond milk. Okay. Oh, God. Yeah, I know the one. Maybe. Actually, I do slow motion stuff. It's real easy on the through my editor. Don't give me. um. So, okay. Oh, we're off topic. Oh, gosh, dang it. I am just exhausted. So it's about that time where I do need to wind it down for the night. Um, Let me give you a heads up. Pretty soon, in some of the live streams that will be coming up in the next 2 weeks, it looks like the Prince Magnum channel will be fostering another cat. Ian, I can tell you, I was at work at 4 o'clock this morning, Ian. That's why I'm so dang tired. I was at 4 o'clock. I was at work at 4 o'clock this morning. Got home at almost 2 o'clock, and normally I take a nap when I get home from work. I didn't get that chance because I started doing an odd job, making a little extra money for the channel. Um, so I was literally out there making extra money to put back into my own car. So I'm exhausted, and I was out there lifting on heavy stuff. Yes, yes, we're getting a kitten to foster. So Sad Cat actually remembers one of the kittens. Actually, I don't know what we're going to call that little kitten, but something to that effect. Something to that effect. Oh, I know, I know. Sad Cat actually got the Prince Magnum channel's very first fostered cat. Called a cat grinder. Nah, not yet. Not yet. This particular kitten, it's going to be a couple weeks before the kitten is able to come over to HQ. But when said kitten gets here, of course, you guys are going to get to see him firsthand. We'll bring him in the live stream. We have now fostered two cats. Spike was our first, and everyone just loved Spike. And the second one was Sebastian, a solid black cat. And last I heard, he's doing fantastic. Him and his new forever partner in crime, they're inseparable. They go everywhere together. Actually, they're very rarely apart. Oh, hang on. Let's go find a cat. We have two cats here now. We have matter of fact, last night we showed Tabor, and a lot of you are like, my God, that's a big cat. Where is Tabor? Anyhow, yes, Spike was our first one. And oh man, he's a cute cat. Now I imagine he's big now. He's a big boy. I imagine he was getting big when he was here. He eats you out of house and home too. He was getting so dang big. And then on top of that, we had Sebastian. He was right, right. Spike he was our first foster, and how we found him was he was given to us to foster because he was literally as a little bitty tiny kitten, right? That was exactly how he got his name because he was all claws. Really, he was all claws, and it made me think of the movie Gremlins where Spike scratch. I forgot to just how those gremlins would scratch and claw and bite and all that stuff. He was so dang ornery, it was just all claws, so that's what I thought of. I thought of the movie Gremlins, and I thought of Spike. And that's how he got his name. And so Spike was just amazing little guy, and he was our first foster, and he was actually found in a parking lot by by some friends of ours. They brought him home. Gizmo. Beat Saber. I've never heard of Beat Sabers. I've, for the record, uh, let's see. For the record, hearing you mention beats, uh, hearing you say that, do you know I've actually told Star Wars fans, male Star Wars fans, if they mention anything about force choking their lightsaber, I didn't want to hear it. Yeah, call the next one Gizmo. I might do that. I might do that. Mm. Um, so that is that. So you guys learned some stuff about the channel. Um, Now tomorrow is Thursday. We are definitely going to be doing what's going on TFZ Gaming. Welcome to the live stream. Was just getting ready to slowly start winding it down. I am exhausted, but yes, as I said, I have not taken my normal nap after working a long shift at work. So I am like really exhausted. On top of that, I did not sleep very well last night. I kept waking up with PTSD flashbacks. I think there's a few of you who might. um, you're giving me an idea for a funny ass video, for a comedy video. Um, how about this one? I don't know if you quite heard this, so I'll say it again. Um, for Star Wars fans, for male Star Wars fans, I always tell them it's uh, here are the normal ones that I use. Greedo shot first, and they always get really ticked about that. Just look at it, just so you know, Greedo shot first. No, he didn't. That's one of my favorites. And when I'm trying to get under their skin, I will turn around and say, um, what I will actually say right after that is I'll tell them something like, if you start, oh, you're talking Star Wars. If at any point you start talking about force choking your lightsaber, I don't want to hear any more out of you, okay? And they're usually like, "Oh, you sick puppy." Oh my gosh. Well, I worked with a guy some years ago. I hear you. I hear you. Um, I worked with a guy that he would spout lines from from Star Wars. What did I do? He was going around force choking his lightsaber. Anyhow, that's a good, yeah, right. That's just so wrong. Just so wrong. Anyhow, at that point, you might as well call him Dick Beater. Anyhow, um, don't want to say that out loud, too terribly out loud. Might be children watching. Prince Magnum, bad, bad. Anyhow, um, where was I? Gosh dang it. You can tell I'm getting tired. I'm getting forgetful, like really bad. Um, Tomorrow is Thursday, which Thursday is sober talk. I am not a fan of the prequels. Honestly, I mean, it told the story before the story, I guess you could say, but I'll be honest with you. Give me the I hate how they started changing it around. Okay, Star Wars 1977. Leave it alone. Then you got Star Wars Return. Hang on. I give me the original trilogy. I remember the toys and everything. I love the movies. Leave it alone. It was that way for a reason. And then turning them into episodes, no, doesn't work for me. Doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You know. Myself personally, I'm a Star Trek fan more than anything. And being a Star Trek fan, I'm actually a Star Trek fan. As a matter of fact, on Project Spirit's keychain is the Star Trek the Federation logo. You know the as a matter of fact, to even go along with that. uh, is that so? Then I'm gonna drop this in your lap. George Lucas, the guy who created Star Wars, his inspiration was Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek. You can look that up yourself. That was his original. And to go along with that, Star Trek came out in what, 1960? They started working on it in 1966 with Bill Shatner in it. Yeah. Um, Star Trek has been doing it a lot longer. And without Star Trek, you wouldn't have Star Wars. I like both, but I lean more towards Star Trek. That's just me. You know, nothing wrong with it. I like both, but I just, like I said, I lean more towards Star Trek. Now, I started telling you, actually, depends on how you would look at it. I would say that Star Wars does pull in more off of merchandising, though. um, the movie was much better than the TV. You're talking Stargate. Stargate. The movie was like 1,000 times better. 1,000 times better. I love the movie, and of course Kurt Russell in that movie just did an amazing job. I mean, he really made that movie. Him, actually, everybody who played in that damn good movie. If you've never seen it, you're missing out. But the movie was 1,000 times better than the TV show. Okay. There was a guy I worked with, huge Star Wars fan, and here's how I would pick on him. He would spout something from Star Wars, and I occasionally, yes, but don't forget, Star Trek does have movies too. Um, Star Trek does have movies. They both, right. But what I would do to this coworker is I would basically, the joke that I had, Um, the joke that I had for this guy, he would start spouting them off. You'd hear me say, "Live long and prosper," and he'd turn around and look at me like, you know what, you just, or he would come into work. His name was Chuck. He'd come into work, and I'd go, "Hi, Chuck," just like that, and he'd get really upset and say, "You can go trek yourself." He'd get really, yeah, like freaking Trekkies. So I always, we would go back and forth. And if I really wanted to upset him, I would just say, um, you would hear me say, um, just remember, Greedo shot first. And he's like, Greedo did not shoot. I said, I know. I've seen the 1977. I said, I know. I've seen it like a million times before they did the digitally masturbated version of it. Yeah, I said it that way on purpose. But yeah, I'd walk up to him, "Hi, Chuck," and he would get really irate. I still do that to coworkers. There's another coworker who's a huge Star Trek fan. Uh, he's him and I get along just fine. He's a pretty cool guy. We tease each other all the time. Matter of fact, when I made 13 years sober, he actually gave me one of the Star Trek Countdown comic books that came in his um, came in some, I forgot what it was, loot crate. He gave it was out of a loot crate, and he gave it to me, and I was like, he's like, this is. He said, I know you're a Star Trek fan. And I've never opened that comic. It's still in its original packaging. As a matter of fact, it's over in my special box of stuff that's not allowed to really see the light of day. Sometime, well, I'll have to take you guys through that box and show you some of the cool shit I got in there. Um, but that was his gift to me for making 13 years when I made 13 years sober. Of course, now I'm 14 years sober. Well, okay, I will tell you all, when it was brand new in the movie theaters, Star Trek 3, the search for Spock. When it was in the movie theaters, my dad took my mom and I to watch Star Trek 3 in the movie theaters. And I will tell you, it was it's it gets some hate, but I mean, come on. Christopher Lloyd was in that movie, and Christopher Lloyd is freaking cool. And that was before he did, I think that would have been just before Back to the Future. So, you know, come on, you can't say nothing. Yep. And Princess Faye, uh, her and I've been binge watching Deep Space Nine. We kind of laxed on it, but I Deep Space Nine is still a favorite. We did binge watch Star Trek Enterprise and enjoyed it. Um, I but when it comes to Star Trek, I mean, I will say that I am not a big fan of Star Trek Voyager. Um, when I did Aircraft Remover 12 and Aircraft Remover 12 Part 2, the whole thing with the USS Voyager. Really? Oh, see, I disagree. I disagree. Um, by the way, Princess Faye did not like how I blew up the Defiant. She didn't like that. She's like, "You blew up the Defiant." I said, "Yep." I said, "It was no match for Aircraft Remover." I have a knot on the back of my head. No, I'm teasing. Uh, I am not a fan. Voyager, there's some things I like about it, and then there's some things I don't. I will say right now, they missed an opportunity with the two-part episode, Year of Hell. If they would have made it an entire season, that oh man, that would have been awesome. Viable? I will tell you right now, Star Trek Voyager did not introduce the Borg. The Borg was introduced in Next Generation. Um, Next Generation, the Borg was introduced. Um, and um, I don't. They did. Then you had the Dominion War in Deep Space Nine, but Voyager explored the Borg a little bit more. Um, they touched base on it in Star Trek Enterprise, but right now with Star Trek Picard, um, I would. I'm waiting to see where it goes. I've watched some of Star Trek Picard. I like it. I really like it. It's good to see. You know, they didn't. They didn't. There's some channel. See, you don't like and see a lot. I've heard some people say they didn't. I like it, and from what I could see of Star Trek Discovery, I don't like it. Patrick Stewart really. Come on. I mean, Patrick Stewart is like Captain Picard. Of course, he was an admiral at one point. Then, I like where they're going with it, and I want to see what it's one of those things. Actually, I don't watch much television. I don't watch much television, so you wouldn't have a problem with that. See what I mean? Okay. So let's do current events. I do need to wind down. I've got to take it easy. I've got to be at work at 4 o'clock in the morning, so I do need to start winding down. And where I am, it is 9:30, so I need to start getting ready to call it a night. Okay, so okay. So, all right, I got you. Okay, so I do need to wind down for the night because I got a long day ahead of me tomorrow. So, first things first. Again, tomorrow is Thursday, so it's Thursday night sober talk. Friday, we are going to be live streaming a cooking episode, and so that's going to be tomorrow. Yeah. Friday, we're going to be, and then of course Saturday, weather permitting, we're going to do up to 2 live streams, weather permitting. Weather not permitting, it'll be 1 live stream. So that particular live stream, the first one, we're going to try to get some work done to the car because we'll be picking up. Ian, this is YouTube, not Pornhub. Um, so that is the plan for Saturday. So Sexy Saturday is still on. But if we can, I'm going to try to spend some time with working on Project Spirit and getting her up to snuff. Project Spirit will be in the shop Friday night. So we will not see her at all until Saturday morning when we go to pick her up. So that's pretty much that. Um, so, and then Sunday, then I don't know what we're doing Sunday. We're going to do something Sunday, but Sunday's always up in the air. We always throw it up in the air. We might turn Sunday into we might do another cooking stream Sunday, or we might actually start working. Yeah, it's about that time. Um, Sunday, oh my gosh, I'm afraid to see what that is. Okay. And then Monday, as usual, will be shut down for the day, other than loaded content. I'm working on the car. It's time. I got to do an oil change, and she needs a lube job, and everyone's taking the lube job to a whole new level of sick. This is grease that has to go into fittings that are on Project Spirit. Otherwise, those parts will wear out and break. You're lubing the dang fittings. Oh my God, that's awesome. So everyone's like, oh, lube job. Yeah, lube's important, You got to, parts break if you don't lube them. They'll start grinding and making horrible racket. And they'll make the squeaking sound like this. Anyhow. So that's kind of how it stands. Now, if anything does change between now and whatever day it is, obviously we'll. Oh, I will. I will. Don't worry. I'm not doing it right now because I know I'm probably just asking for it. But I do need to wind down. All right. So that's kind of as it stands. Again, I want to thank you all for being in here. And as a reminder, if you haven't had a chance to smash that like button, you might want to do so. Oh my God. I know I'm just walking into it. Oh, shoot. Oh. So, and before you ask, Queen, before we get to that point, yes, I made sure to take care of my blood sugar before the stream. All right. As a reminder, if you haven't had a chance to smash the like button, please do so at this time and remind YouTube that we are the Maverick Nation and we are a force to be reckoned with. Along with that, also as a reminder, I knew what you meant. Also as a reminder, you guys are the ones that are helping me get to where I need to be. It's all of you that are, I guess you could say, and if this was wrestling, you guys are the ones that are putting me over. You guys are important, and I love every last one of you for coming in here and hanging out with me and helping me, move this channel along. I've been at this for a good minute. And believe me when I say I put a lot of time and effort into this channel to get it this far. And the fact that we are to this point is because of you guys. I mean, if it wasn't for you guys, I could put the content out there all day long. No one's watching it. It's not going anywhere. So it's you guys that making my channel go places. All right. You guys are important. And because you guys are helping me, hey, thank you. Thank you guys for being here with me. And that brings me to the point where I get to do my outro. And I'll have to tomorrow. I'm going to have to explain the last part of the outro, where the whole the whole thing of uh, God bless you and have a happy 24. I'm going to have to explain the story behind that. So that's a part of my sobriety, the whole sobriety thing. So I'm definitely going to do that for you guys tomorrow. Think different. I'm going to have you remind me, but that's something that we're going to do. Is I'm going to tell the story behind the most important part of the outro. All right. As always, it's been fun hanging with you all. As always, get out there and work on a project. I don't care what it is. Just do something with yourself. Remember, idle hands and a creative mind, they go together like oil and water. If you have a sweetheart, sweep them off their feet. Sweep them off their feet. Do something special for them today. And as always, for all of you out there, if no one out there has told any of you that they love you today, Prince Magnum does. God bless you and have a happy 24. Thank you.